All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the WEBOOKIT podcast. Let's start the show.
Yo, what's up, WEBOOKIT fam? This is your boy, Big Daddy C, coming at you with another episode of the Raw Dogg Monday show. This week, Monday Night Raw was live in London, basically at the O2 Arena. Show opened up with some fans cheering at the camera. We jumped to a video package for the King and Queen in the ring. And so then we went straight to the arena. Femi made his way to the ring. The crowd was chanting his name. Femi could barely contain his smile when the crowd continued to chant his name. After the music had stopped, he said he would love for the crowd to chant his name all night, which caused him to chant even more. He eventually spoke about looking forward to the King of the Ring tournament on Sunday, calling it his destiny, but he still said he was still unsure about which title he would pursue once he had the crown. This brought out Jey Uso. This brought out Jey Uso to issue a response. Basically, Jey Uso made his way to the London crowd to confront Femi. He said he was being used to being counted out by people, but he keeps proving them wrong. He brought up the Royal Rumble and the World title wins as examples of times he had to overcome the odds. He promised to do it again this Sunday against Femi. Femi said he's going to destroy Jey Uso because he's already looking past him to a different member of his family, basically talking about Roman Reigns. The segment pretty much ended without any confrontation, but both men said what they needed to say heading into their match. Backstage, we had a segment with LA Knight approaching Adam Pearce yet again, talking about his issues with the bloodline. This caused Jimmy Uso to walk up and yell at him about what happened last week. So Pearce decided to book a match between LA Knight and Jimmy for tonight. Next up, we had the Women's Tag Team Championships. Brie and Paige taking on Bayley and Lyra. The crowd gave Paige a warm welcome. As we all know, she's from the UK. As soon as the bell rang, Lyra ran at Paige, basically hitting her with a kick to the head to take control quickly. Paige was able to get the upper hand once Bayley was in the ring, but Lyra saved her partner from a pin. We came back from commercial break to see Brie using the yes kicks before Bayley rolled up for a 2 count. Brie kicked out and accidentally sent her right into Paige. Paige would eventually tag in, started pretty much giving offense to both opponents. She sent Bayley out to the ring and prepared her to hit her finisher, but Lyra countered and hit the Nightwing. Brie barely made it in time to break up the pin. Lyra was in control, but suddenly Paige grabbed her and hit the Rampage DDT for the win, and Brie and Paige retained the tag team championships. After the match, Bayley was confronting Lyra until Lyra snapped and turned on Becky and pretty much beat the hell out of her and hit her with the Nightwing and stormed off as the crowd was booing her. Next up, we had another stop of the apology tour for Chad Gable, basically making his final stop, to be exact, and apologizing to the Alpha Academy, Otis, Kira Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree. He had a new entrance music, of course. I think it sounds like some AC/DC shit, but sounds pretty cool nonetheless. The crowd was chanting his name. He basically talked about the bump he had after losing his mask to El Grande Americano and how he had almost lost his way. He said he had more people he needed to apologize to and asked Otis, Kira Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree to join him in the ring. They pretty much came out there, and none of them looked happy about it. Gable put over how Maxine Dupree has done something he has yet to do, win a singles title. Basically talking about her women's Intercontinental Championship win over Becky Lynch. He said the way he called the way he treated her pathetic. And then he went on to Tozawa, basically saying how he had a fighting spirit and that he was embarrassed at how he treated him. He got to Otis and basically called him the most loyal friend anyone could ever have. He said that he misses him. He said that they don't owe him anything. He owes them an apology. Let's see here. Got Ghani Ryan. I don't know how to say your name, but thanks for tuning in. What's going on? So yeah, basically, as Otis was about to, Chad held out his hand. Otis was about to step up and shake his hand, but Maxine Dupree stepped in between them. She said that everything that about Gable is a lie, and that she knows all they want. She knows they all want to forgive him, but she doesn't. She listed off several times Gable crossed the line with them, basically making her get on her knees to beg him from stopping Akira Tozawa. And so she said they don't need him. She said that he was only apologizing for himself and that they don't need him. And so she left with Otis and Tozawa. Otis pretty much hesitated. He looked back at Gable, but he eventually chose to join Maxine Dupree. I don't think that's over. I think they eventually will get back, together. I don't know if it's going to be Maxine Dupree because she's still hanging out with Mr. Austin Theory. So I definitely see her joining the division. This will probably lead to Otis and Tozawa reuniting with Chad Gable. So we'll see how that plays out. As soon as we got our next match, Dragon Lee versus Ethan Page. Dragon Lee hit a hurricanrana followed by a drop kick that sent Page out of the ring. You follow Ethan out with a dive to take him down before throwing him back in the ring. Ethan will put a stop to the momentum with a running clothesline that grounded Dragon Lee. He tried to slow the pace down to his liking, but Dragon Lee kept trying to fight back. Dragon Lee was in control. Hit a nice tornado DDT once we came back from commercial break, but Page didn't let him have the upper hand for long. They end up fighting on the top rope, but Page slipped, ended up hanging by his ankles, which allowed Lee to hit a double stomp to the chest for a 2 count. He sent Page out of the ring and hit a suicide dive that had a lot of momentum that he ended up flying right over the announce table. When they got back into the ring, Page hit a low blow that he made look inadvertent before hitting his finisher for the win. Next up, we had a backstage segment. We had the Vision promising to retain the tag team titles tonight. We also had a video package for Sol Ruka before Io Sky came out there to discuss the Queen of the Ring finals. She told Jackie Redmond that she's extremely grateful to have made it this far and can't wait to take the crown. Of course, this will bring out Liv Morgan to interrupt the proceedings. She did her usual, gloating and, talking about how she's the best ever and predicting that she would win the tournament. Io Sky asked if the crown would even fit her big head and called her arrogant. She yelled at Liv Morgan in Japanese until Liv Morgan punched her. They fought until Io Sky sent her out of the ring with a springboard drop kick. We had another backstage segment. Jacob Fatu was with the Usos. And this was right before the LA Knight's match against Jimmy. Before the match got started, Danhausen had a backstage segment with Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Danhausen cursed McDonough, who immediately electrocuted himself. It was a pretty funny segment, if you ask me. Heading into this match, LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. Jimmy, I feel like he's been the one that's been trying to keep the peace between, Jay and LA Knight. But this past week, this week he found himself standing across from the ring from him. We saw what happened on SmackDown. Last week on Raw, when Jacob interfered on behalf of the Usos and pretty much put that claw on put that grip on that's pause. I said it right the first time, but you know what I mean. He put the finisher on put the finisher on LA Knight and made him submit. But But yeah, so in this match, they wasted no time. They was throwing punches immediately. Jimmy took control when the fight spit out of the ring. He slammed LA Knight's head into the steel steps. The LA Knight reversed him when he tried to use the announce table. Jimmy ended up hitting the Whisper in the wind for a 2 count to get the upper hand. And then he sent LA Knight into the barricade as the show went to a commercial break. We came back to see them trading control back and forth until LA Knight hit a DDT that gave them both a chance to regroup for a moment. Despite taking the last shot, Jimmy was the first back on his feet. LA Knight was building up a lot of momentum, but he eventually got distracted by Solo Sikoa, who showed up in the crowd as he promised he was going to do, or he hinted that he was going to do on SmackDown. Jimmy shoved him off the top rope while the ref was checking on him. Solo eventually hit Jimmy with a small spike. This caused a shocked LA Knight to take advantage of the situation and hit the BFT for the win. We had another backstage segment. Jackie Redmond was trying to interview Bayley, but Bayley had nothing to say in regards to the attack that Lyra put on her. And then this led into another segment with the Judgment Day. You have Morgan telling Raquel Rodriguez she should go after the IC title. She rushed JD off to the medical staff before she can even tell Roxanne Perez what she should do. Because Roxanne Perez basically something like, where does that leave me? And so Perez seems to be the odd one out right now. So that's why I feel like they're going to cost Liv Morgan the championship. Or the Queen of the Ring tournament, because of the fact that Liv is pretty much acting big-headed, and, is eventually starting to drive a wedge between her and the other two, because they also lost out on opportunities to try to win this tournament and potentially face her or any other, or Rhea Ripley for Idol World Championship. And so then we also had another pre-recorded. We had another segment which was a pre-recorded interview between Corey Graves and Seth Rollins, basically talking to him about the whole stuff with the division and Street Profits and how all that has been coming along. And so, of course, Logan Paul, he's still not cleared to compete due to his arm injury. Braun Breaker is pretty much taking his place to defend the tag team championships with Austin Theory against Ford and Dawkins. Breaking Theory rushed the challengers and attacked them as soon as the ref called for the bell. Ford eventually regained his footing and tagged in Dawkins so they could double team Theory and gain control. Breaker got the tag and cut Ford in half with a vicious spear before throwing Dawkins into a suplex. Throwing Dawkins with a suplex. We came back from commercial break to see Ford still being isolated by Theory and Breaker. Theory knocked Dawkins off the apron to prevent a tag. Once Dawkins got the hot tag, he started going on a rampage. Ford tagged back in and they hit the finisher. But Logan Paul was saved them by putting Theory's foot on the bottom rope. The ref would eventually saw it and he threw Logan Paul out and basically told him hit the showers. But the match will eventually continue. Dawkins came back in and they set up for their finisher again, but Braun Breaker saved Theory this time. He hit a flying clothesline from the apron that sent Ford over the announce table. Came back from yet another commercial break to see Austin Theory and Breaker double teaming Dawkins to keep him away from Ford. Took some time, but Dawkins eventually managed to tag his partner in. Ford came in hot and hit a flurry of moves to take control of the match, but he didn't get to dominate for too long. Breaking Theory turned the tables with a double team move. It was pretty much a kind of like a tribute, a nod to his uncle and his father, the Steiners, with their little tag team finisher. It was basically a flying bull. It was like basically a bulldog from the top rope. And so, yeah, it was pretty cool to see. It was a super bulldog. That's the name of it. And came for a close 2 count. Breaker he got pissed off even more, threw part of the steel steps into the ring before he can do anything else. Dawkins pushed him into the ring post. Logan Paul snuck back in and tried to give Theory brass knuckles, but Joe Hendry will make his return and chased him away. Theory saw the Nuts on the mat and tried to go for him. He was crawling for him, and then Seth Rollins' music hits, and he shows up from out of nowhere to snatch him away, and he used him on Theory. And then this caused the Breaker noticed too late, and he chased him. He chased Seth Rollins through the crowd while the Profits finished off Theory to win the tag team titles. So the Street Profits are the new tag team champions. They have won their 4th tag team championship. Their 5 tag team championships overall, as they were NXT tag team champions during their time there as well. So yeah, basically Ford and Dawkins celebrated in the aisle as an angry Breaker and Theory looked on from the ring. Great way to end the show. I think this was a pretty solid show in London. Go home show for the for Night of Champions, which will be in Saudi Arabia this weekend. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Should be a good show. So yeah, and that was pretty much the main event. And this brings us to an end of another episode of the Raw Dog Monday show. This is Big Daddy C signing out. Thanks for all tuned in to this. Catch y'all another time. Peace.